Welcome to my corner of the internet, guys. I am the Lucid Dream, and this one is going to be a little bit of a deviation from our regularly scheduled programming, as this is a video that has been requested that I didn't think I would ever make, and I'm going to tell you why. I am commentary and snark. I am not necessarily someone who is good at giving tutorials, and that's what this kind of is. So as most of you know, I posted my first video back on April 7th. I am a grandmother with no previous experience on YouTube outside of being a watcher. And 18 days after I posted my first video, I was able to apply to the YouTube Partner Program and monetize my channel. Now, a lot of the questions I have gotten have revolved around what kind of software I use, etc. I had absolutely no previous experience in editing before I started this on April 7th. So this is a constant learning process for me. It is a constant work in progress. I am always adjusting, always trying new things. But these are the basic steps that I took to take my channel from A to B. And I can tell you the only secret weapon in this entire arsenal are my subscribers. Without my channel members and subscribers, I would absolutely not be here. I am here because of them. And it is my interactions with them, my engagement with them, that I believe has been the key to the success of the channel so far. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to give you some insight into what programs I use, the process I use, and how we got here so far. So in preparation for this video, one of the things that I did was I watched a ton of content about how I got my channel monetized in 30 days and how much YouTube paid me for my first 1,000 subscribers, etc. And one of the biggest takeaways that I have found from almost all, I'm not going to say all, but almost all of that content is, number one, it's very vague. And that is kind of understandable. The YouTube experience is not going to be the same for any two creators. There are always going to be variable factors in play that are going to affect the end result differently for everybody. So referencing one of my favorite movies, if you remember in Jurassic Park when Dr. Ian Malcolm was putting the water on Ellie Sattler's hand and the water drips down and then goes down a different path even though he started in the same place. And he explains it as chaos theory. And it absolutely applies to YouTube. Your experience is not going to be anywhere near what mine is, or mine is not going to be the same as somebody else's, because there are variable factors with everything. And those end results are going to be vastly different. So this is not going to be a tutorial about if you do A and B, you are going to get to C just like I did, because that isn't possible. The factors are going to be different. You're going to get a different result. What this is going to be is best practices that I have found just from my experience in the past 5 weeks. All right, the first behavior we're going to talk about is very simple. It is the one that I feel like is the most important to any content creator, whether that is YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, it doesn't matter. It is audience engagement and building rapport with your audience. Those two things are what are going to help you maintain sustainable organic growth, and it's going to help you with audience retention. Because at the end of the day, if they don't stay, then you've done yourself no good. Your audience is the most important part of your channel. It's not your content, it's not your editing, it's not you. It is your audience, because without them, you don't exist. Get to know them. You would be amazed how many amazing people you are going to meet through the comments. Respond to emails. Ask for feedback. So important. And honestly, probably the only reason that my channel has grown the way it does is because I do spend a lot of time getting to know my audience, getting to know my subscribers. All right. So on that same token, knowing that your audience is the most important thing and the main reason you are there, you have to be able to take constructive criticism and feedback from your audience, and not just take the feedback, but be able to look at your channel and say, okay, well, they gave me feedback on this area. What can I do to improve it? You are not going to please everybody, but I am guilty of this all the time. So I'm going to use this as an example. If I make a thumbnail, there are times that I will make a thumbnail and it makes sense to me. It's funny to me because I made it. I know why there is an owl riding a dinosaur. But when I release it, it may not make sense to most other people because I made the thumbnail because I thought it was funny. So you have to be able to take feedback where you can switch things around, where you are not just appealing to your personal likes and preferences, but you have to be able to appeal to a wider audience. So that's something I'm constantly working on, is making thumbnails that are clear and concise and actually make sense to people. So that's feedback that I have gotten and I have worked on constantly in the past 5 weeks. You have to be able to take feedback without seeing it as an insult, without seeing it as a negative. Because again, if you have built rapport with your audience and you are getting feedback from these people, it's because they care. I'm not talking about the mean ass comments that you're going to get sometimes. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about the legitimate feedback and conversations you get from your dedicated subscribers. That is golden information because they are telling you what they would like to see. You just have to be able to hear it. Next thing up is going to be consistency. You have to be able to set a schedule that you are comfortable with, that you can deliver on. Do not overpromise and then underdeliver. You need to be able to relay to your audience, you can expect me to post daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, and they need to be able to know that you are going to follow through with that. So if you dedicate your channel to posting daily, you need to post daily. If you don't post daily, let people know, hey, I'm going to miss a day. But again, communication and consistency. Those two things are going to help you maintain that sustainable organic growth that we're looking for, because you absolutely do not want to be that person that, you don't post for 4 or 5 days and your audience is unsubscribed because, well, you didn't follow through with what you told them that you were going to do. And it happens. So know your limitations, know what you can commit to, and follow through with it. So the last thing is going to be just determination and sticking with it through the obstacles, because there will be some. They are going to be different for everybody. There will be obstacles, though, and you have to be able to kind of push your way through those. For example, for me, I actually had 2 false copyright strikes filed on me before I was even monetized. And for a non-monetized channel, if you hit 3, your channel is terminated. So not only was that stressful, it really had me questioning whether or not that this was worth doing. And then when I applied for monetization and entry into the YouTube Partner Program, I was actually denied initially because of those 2 false copyright strikes. I had already filed counterclaims on them. I was waiting on the results. They were eventually processed and my videos were restored. But that was a stressful time. When I got that denial of my entry into the partner program, I was kind of devastated. I had put a lot of effort into this. So I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning when I got the email and went and filmed my appeal video. Thankfully, 12 hours later, I got the email that said, your appeal was successful. Welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. So happy ending, but there are definitely going to be roadblocks. You just have to fight through it. I promise it is worth it. I am going to leave a link for all of the equipment and programs that I use in the description box for you. This is only if you are interested in checking it out. I am not affiliated with any of these companies. I do not receive anything if you decide to purchase these products. These are just the products that I happen to be using at this time. The mic, for example, I went with something a little less expensive because this was kind of a, let's try it and see how it goes originally. And I wanted something a little bit different than the mic that I used for work. So I picked up this little stand mic on Amazon and have been super happy with it. Absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. Couldn't be more pleased with it. The editing software I use, Pinnacle 26 is the one that I have been using primarily. mostly user-friendly. And there was a little pause there because I had to think of how I wanted to put that. It is it is pretty user-friendly. There are some things that I would probably change about it if I was actually going to write the program, but in as far as beginning editing software, it's not bad. It has gotten me to this point. Now, there are other things that I use. I use Canva a lot now. I have used Adobe Express since the beginning. There are so many resources out there for content creators. I'm constantly discovering new ones. But I will leave the links for everything that I use in the description box for you. All right, and lastly, we're going to take a look at analytics for no other reason but to show what is possible. I don't find analytics to be a very good teaching tool when it comes to correcting behaviors, but it does show you what's possible and it can be motivating. Anyone can do this. I am a person with absolutely no YouTube experience outside of the observer kind. And in 2 weeks, from April 30th to May 14th, I have made $713.16 on a brand new to YouTube channel. It can absolutely be done, but it is about executing behaviors. That is all there is to it. There is no magic sauce. There is no magic pill. There is no magic formula. It is about executing behaviors. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know this was a little bit different, but as usual, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and let me know what you would like to see. I know this is my story and my journey with YouTube over the past 5 weeks, but I sincerely hope that the things that I have learned will help other creators who are wanting to start off or maybe struggling to start off. Have a wonderful day. I will catch everybody on the next one.